You just, okay. 10, you're good? Cool. All right, good morning, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be here today. We received really incredible news that the Lansing School District received over $14 million in a federal magnet grant. Now, magnet grants are nothing new to this district. This district actually has a long history of some wonderful magnet work. But what really makes today so special is that this district over the last year and a half has started to really implement the vision about what we believe for this district. And rather than just chase money for the sake of money, what we really care deeply about is making sure that the grants that we apply for make sense for our children. And so this magnet grant, and you can see all the wonderful people behind me, what they represent is how we're going to be working this magnet grant for the betterment of kids. And so we're going to have individual people talk about some of the pieces, but I'm going to give you an overall view and why this is so important for this community. So with over $14 million from the Department of Education, the Lansing School District's going to be able to have support for our 4-year CTE high school, something that I've been talking about, we've been talking about for a year now. We believe deeply that children should have the opportunity to get skills, to get jobs, and to learn some wonderful trades in this community. And so what this money is going to allow us to do is to help support our 4-year CTE high school at Hill. So that means that not only are they going to get their career and technical education, but they're also going to get their math and their history and their science all together in one facility so that they'll really be supported in their learning. That's going to be tremendous. The second piece of this, and we'll have other wonderful people who can talk more about Montessori than I can, is that we're getting funding for our K-8 Montessori program at Wexford. This money is going to allow for training, for support, and really make our Montessori schools top-notch, not just in Lansing, but around the country. And then the third piece of this, which I have to say I'm really thrilled about, is that it's going to give us funding for a environmental education program. So here we are in Lansing, here we are in this wonderful, beautiful place that we want our kids to learn about the environment, to know about the environment, but also it leads towards healthy living, it leads towards, eating well, it leads towards being just a healthier person, and also so many other things like green jobs and things like that. And so rather than just have it at one school, we're creating a program where they'll start in the younger grades at Forest View, and we have their wonderful principal here too who will speak about it, that will then lead towards a middle school north, and then ending up at our incredible facility, Ebersol, which for those of you who don't know, is an almost 200-acre facility in Wayland where we have classrooms and dorms, and we're really turning that into kind of a world-class educational institution. So imagine what we can do now with this grant money: a CTE high school, K-8 Montessori, and environmental track K-12. It's incredible. But none of this would have happened without this incredible people behind me. And so I'm gonna, because we're gonna do this a little bit off the cuff, I'm just gonna introduce some people and they'll be able to talk about it. The first person I want to introduce is the person to my left, your right, is Joelle Letts. Joelle has been an amazing part of our community since we hired her not that long ago. So we now have a competitive grants director. So you might say, why do you have a competitive grants director? It's so that we can win grants like this, so that we can reach out and have people that help us get these kinds of money. So I want to turn it over to Joelle because she can give you some of the intricacies about this this wonderful grant, and then from there we'll introduce the educators that are behind me who are going to make this dream into a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. This is very exciting. I just want to first off thank the superintendent for his fantastic vision, and thank you, the administrators, for your vision and your role in this. But a big thank you also needs to go to the U.S. Department of Education. So they are the agency that has granted us this funding, and we submitted an application back in May, a very competitive application, and we had just found out last week. So this is really exciting for us to be able to move forward with this process. Next steps are to be for us internally to hire a project director director that will then work directly with our administration and our superintendent in enrolling the vision and supporting all those wonderful things that he had just discussed. So we're very excited and we're very thankful for this opportunity.
Thank you, Joelle. I think next up is a wonderful principal at Forest View, Emily, who has had really a vision of environmental learning for years. And that it's really wonderful, again, that we're able to get grants to fulfill visions that already exist rather than have to create something anew. So, Emily, if there's anything you want to talk about and why this is great. If not, it's okay. I know.
I'll take a minute.
Yeah,
Thanks
please.
for giving me an
I
out.
want you to, exactly.
Thanks for giving me an out. I want to thank the staff at Forest View. It's been about 10 years that we decided we wanted to try this. So we've been working for 10 years to develop curriculum, support for kids, outdoor learning, and environmental science, wrapped up all in the foundational learning for science and math. And what we found is kids just get so excited about learning. They want to come to school. They don't want to miss anything. So we are very grateful for the opportunity to grow our program. And again, the staff at Forest View from the beginning, without any financial support, we were doing it, but we are ready to soar. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, you're hearing, we have these incredible educators that have always been wanting to do this. And now this grant will really, let us soar, which I love that. Next up is Liz Bishop, who's the principal of the K-8 Montessori school. And she can tell you a little bit about what this grant will mean to her and her team. If you want to say anything.
Oh, sure. Thank you. So at Wexford, we're super excited about this new grant. We were a grant funded program prior to this, but our funding ran out and we've been sustaining the program. It's been amazing. But now that we've got the funding to train teachers, add additional materials for students, add instructional assistants for each classroom, I think our students will grow in the Montessori way and be very successful and do an amazing job.
Thank you, Liz. And then the next person that I want to introduce, I think I take a little bit of special pride here because Nicole Millsap has been a real driving light in our CTE programming really for a while now. But we know that from the community, we hear over and over and over again, what can the Lansing School District do for career and technical education? What can we do for things like building trades, for getting kids jobs, for getting kids skills? And Nicole's been a huge driver for that. And what we're going to be able to do with this grant to create an actual high school, a 4-year high school, like Hill was, but even more of a complete academic program, I think is going to be really, really powerful. So, I always hear in the community, like, what happened to Hill? What happened to those programs? And this is our chance to not only bring it back, but to bring it back even stronger. So I'm really thrilled to introduce Nicole to come talk a little bit about what this is going to mean for us.
Thank you, Ben. I'm Nicole Millsap, the director of CTE over at the Hill Center, and Ben said it perfectly. We are working really hard on Hill 2.0, if you will. And so currently we serve 11th and 12th grade students, and we are so excited to know that we've been awarded this grant money because now we can serve 9th grade students. And so when you think about 4 years of college and career readiness versus the current 1 to 2 year model that we currently have in place, it's amazing to think about what students will be able to learn in 4 years, how every single day they'll be able to come into the classroom and see how what they're learning is going to apply to their life after high school. And so we're excited about that. Everything that we're doing right now, we see that it's working. The hands-on learning, the attendance, our attendance has been remarkable this year. Students are coming to class and they're enjoying being in class. And so we look forward to expanding upon that momentum.
Thank you. Yeah, it really is exciting. And of course, you see these wonderful people here at the podium with me, but there's a lot of unsung heroes as well that I want to thank. I really want to thank both of our incredible deputy superintendents, Sergio Keck and Jessica Benavides, and also want to thank the board. One of our wonderful board members is here today, Guillermo Lopez. Thank you for your vision and your support. The board has always really thought very deeply about how do we get kids to enjoy their learning? How do we get them these skills? And so all of this is a culmination of a kind of shared effort to really do something special. So here endeth the press conference. We're certainly happy to answer any questions that anybody has, and depending on who the question is for, we'll take it. So thank you so much to the press for being here. These are the kinds of stories that we know the community wants to hear. They want to know the great things that are happening in the Lansing School District, and we certainly appreciate you being here. Thank you. Sure.
So Superintendent, I think you probably hinted a little bit here with career and technical education. How does all of this really feed into the Lansing Promise?
Sure. So thank you so much. So one of the things that makes Lansing so wonderfully special is that you have the Lansing Promise, where if you graduate, you live in the Lansing School District, you go to Lansing schools, you'll be able to get credit. What's really cool about the new iteration of the Promise is that through Justin Sheehan's work, voc tech, skill-based, all of that is actually going to be supported too. Things like tools, things like whatever. So, if they graduate and they want to go into the field, we'll support them. But here's the wonderful thing about the modern CTE world. The modern career and technical education still does sometimes lead towards higher ed. It'll lead toward college. It'll lead toward graduate school. We're lucky enough that a $2.5 billion battery plant is about to open. You could imagine students of ours getting skills to graduate with the certificate and then going to MSU to get an engineering degree to then, so this is all about a holistic way of thinking about support. But the Promise will be supporting these kids when they graduate on any path that they take. And again, these are the kinds of things that make the Lansing School District a wonderful place for children. Thank you. Okay, hearing none. We really appreciate you all being here. We'll be available for individual questions off camera if you need, and we really thank you for being here.